Good afternoon. I will talk about developing low vision programs from the perspective of an international organization who has been struggling to do this in India for over 20 or 25 years. Some ways low vision and people with low vision fall between two stools. They are not seen as a priority in clinical services where the emphasis is on those who can be treated, and in rehab services as well. They are not the typical rehab client who needs what the rehab worker is used to providing, orientation and mobility, or the usual rehab services. In developing low vision services, as Dr. Tanuja has already said, we need to look at low vision at all levels. If we have low vision only at tertiary level, the majority of people with low vision will not find access to low vision services. But when eye care itself is a dream at primary level, whether low vision is a distant dream, we need to think about this. But at primary level itself, as Dr. Tanuja has already explained, there's a lot that can actually happen. And even if you do not have access to a team who can go out and provide specialized low vision services, at the primary level, if people are aware of low vision, they can identify, refer for diagnosis, for good refraction. They can also advise on non-optical interventions and environmental modifications for people with low vision. Or they can refer for educational support and community-based rehabilitation if needed. So these are just illustrations of what can happen at the primary level. And one important component of low vision is also that the low vision, the advice on day-to-day life. For a child with low vision, what is the kind of education he needs? The low vision, the people at the primary level can ensure that the person uses the devices he's given. The majority of low vision devices are kept in a cupboard or in a drawer. They're not used by people. At the secondary level, we would expect a lot more to happen with, first and foremost, good refraction, minimum low vision assessments, and the basic stock of low vision devices needs to be available at secondary level. They can also refer for either tertiary level interventions and follow up those who are seen at the tertiary level. So other people have talked about the type of low vision devices and at least ensuring that the client gets the glasses devices prescribed at an affordable cost. At tertiary level, we need to have complex assessment tests. We need provision of a wide range of devices, including electronic devices. We still need the links to education and rehab services and training in the use of these devices. When we talk about low vision, it is a mistake to think that low vision is all about providing devices. It is about how the person can use whatever little vision he has, whatever usable vision, and even if that vision is perception of light, a person can be taught how to use it to navigate safely, to carry out his activities of daily living, and even people with legal blindness can still make use of that vision for education. And so in education, it's very important to have teachers who are trained in low vision and can train children how to make best use of the residual vision. The Vision 2020 developed a low vision working group. Again, many of the members of that working group are here in this room. Unfortunately, in the low vision sector, it seems to always be a case of those preaching to those who are already converted, and it's only a very small group of people who get interested in low vision. So the low vision working group, again I see several members of them here, have made an extensive analysis of what should be available at district levels in government hospitals, and trying to provide a basic level of low vision services at that district level. As an international organization, we started our programs in the early 90s to try and promote low vision services in India. We're trying currently to develop comprehensive low vision services, that all our eye medical projects provide low vision services, and to include basic low vision services at district levels wherever feasible. We're trying to link between schools for the visually impaired, integrated and inclusive education programs and CBR programs, and focusing on adults with links to livelihoods. We have worked on a policy with low vision. We worked with Sight Savers on developing a low vision handbook. And we also procure low vision devices from Hong Kong and other suppliers and make them available for our partners. CBM is registered as a public charitable trust in India, and we have an Indian trust and a liaison office who work together to support our low vision services. In a new initiative, we are now working with RP Center to develop a national research and training center for low vision and rehab services. Our vision is of an inclusive world where all people with disabilities enjoy their human rights and achieve their full potential. Thank you.